The Bauer 10-inch sliding miter saw. So we got this miter saw not too long ago. I guess they've been out for a couple of years now. And I'm up here cutting some cedar shutters for my house, so I thought I'd do a quick video and just a little demo on it. But like I said, they've been out for a couple of years. I have a Bauer drill and impact and stuff, and for the money, you can't beat it. They work. They work just as good to me as a DeWalt or a Milwaukee. Now the longevity, I don't know. You know, not everybody's got DeWalt and Milwaukee money, so they might not last as long, but they work just as good, at least, you know, until they tear up. But like I said, my drill and all that stuff works great, so that's the reason we bought this Bauer, because, you know, I also have a sander. So with the drill, impact, and sander, they've all been great. Decided to take a shot on this miter saw. Another reason why I bought it is the price. It was on sale for $250 at the time, and they're normally like $300 or a little over $300. So it doesn't come. I'll go over some features and then I'll do a demo on it. It doesn't come with the blade, so I got a 10-inch Diablo blade for it. So it's got your lock. Hopefully y'all can see. It's dark and I got my light set up, but you got your little hold down here. If you pull it out, it lets the saw up. Also, you have your little knob here. Just you tighten it down, your anti-slide, so that it doesn't slide back and forth, which you want if you're transporting it. Otherwise, it'll sling everywhere. It's got a cord. So here, I know it's dark, I'm sorry y'all, but anyway, you can see it here. You got your cord wrap here and here. You have a depth stop right here. You can adjust it in or out so that it stops at a certain depth. You have your hold down clamps here. I'll go over the stand, I got it on in a second, but you got your clamps there. Obviously, your fence. Sorry, I was having a brain fart, I don't know why. So you can, if you loosen these knobs right here, slide these out, take them out completely. If you take these out completely, which I'm not going to do just yet, but there's two Allen head keys here. It has a tool right here in the back. As you can see, it just sticks it in there, and it's your Allen key to adjust these. Has a shadow light right here. You can see the switch turns the light on. So let me just get a piece of board up here. As you can see right there, it casts a shadow on your blade, so you know where your cut's going to be, which is really handy. It's not a laser, but the shadow to me works just as good, because it's exactly where your blade's at, and it's in a good location there. Here, spindle lock, so you can lock your blade to change it out. And then obviously, if you can see in there, it's just also Allen key to change your blade, just like your spindle lock, and you can change your blade out. So here, if you pull this up, it'll rotate to your left on your degrees that way. To do to the right, there's a pin back here that you do, and you'll lean it to the right. You just put it on 0, push this back down, locks that. So then you can adjust your angles this way by pushing your button, and it goes, and it has the detents just to lock it in place like that, or whatever angle you want that way. Push this down, it locks it in place where you want it, so it won't move. And you can, if you push this down, these two at the same time, it moves freely, it doesn't lock, and then you can set it to where you want it, and it locks in these set locations here, and you can just lock it down wherever you want it. And of course, it has your degrees here that you can see on there. It has your degrees here, so when you angle it this way, it goes to 48 degrees left or 48 degrees to the right. Also, another thing is the handle here. It's got a carry handle. So if you lock your slide and lock this down, and say you have it off of the stand, you can carry it by this handle. And that's neat too, because, you know, they can be kind of handy, or they're not really heavy, but they're kind of awkward to carry. So it's got your handle, so you can tote that, and it's not quite as awkward. So there's that also. Right here, your tabs, you lift those up. Your braces, set your wood on. Basically, just a shorter version of what the stand does. Slide those in, and that's your lock for that. And it has Also has one on this side also, which is good if you're just sitting it on a table and you don't have a stand with these rollers and whatnot. Here's some of the specs on that as far as the power and the model. There's the model number. It's dual beveling, obviously sliding compound miter saw is all the technical term for it. And it tells you your power settings there for this motor and all. I think that's pretty much all the features. It's just your standard miter saw. There might be one or two things on here that I'm failing to mention that I can't remember, but if I think about it, I'll mention it in a second. But that's pretty much all your stuff on here. The stand itself, it's a Warrior brand, I believe. It came from Harbor Freight also, and it's pretty cheap. I have to look and see how much it was. 30 bucks, 50 bucks, somewhere around there. But these are your, you can let these in and out this way. This is your knob for that, to let it out to hold your wood. This knob here, you let it up and down, and it's got the same thing over here. We don't want to pay a lot for a stand to use, so that's why we got this one. And you push these in, and they lock up here. You can fold all the legs up and transport it, or fold them out like that. It also, where your saw, which I didn't mention, your saw has bolt hole locations to go to a table or wherever you want to bolt it down to. But it comes with these. I bolted it too, and then you lift up on these, and it comes off of these rails. It's just a hook, and it sets down on there, and you can take the saw off and then transport the stand by itself, which is really neat. Instead of having to pick up the whole stand all by yourself, you just pull the saw off, take it, and then take the stand with it, and then hold it. You hook it on there, and then set the back down to set that. So that's about all. I mean, there's not much to talk about with the stand, but that's pretty neat. Oh, your dust collection, that's one thing I forgot. Dust collection, it's got a bag, just like, I mean, most, which to me is not very, I mean, you know, you'd be changing it out all the time. If you got a shop vac, you know, that you can hook on here and leave on, it'll work a lot better. And also, if you know you're just chopping in, you get a lot of dust, but if you slide in, it helps collect the dust better, and it doesn't leave so much all on the floor and all. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as the features of it. Let me slap my ear pro and all on and throw some boards up here, and I'll do some demo cuts just so you can see. I got some 1x4s I'm cutting, and I got some 2x4s and even some 2x12 somewhere around here. Some deck board, like 5 1/4 deck board I can lay up there and cut for you, and just so you can see how well it cuts. This is an 80 tooth. If you get a 60 tooth, it cuts a little faster, you know, for framing and whatnot. We got an 80 tooth. It's slightly slower, but it cuts smoother, a finer cut, because we're going to be putting tongue and groove on the walls in there, tongue and groove pine, and I wanted it, you know, be a little smoother cut. Let me get into doing some cutting. Nice and smooth. So these are cedar 1x4s, and these are true 1x4s because they're rough cut. We got them, I won't go through the whole spiel, but we went and cut up some cedar trees. These people were doing some logging, took them to him, and he cut them in rough cut. So these are actually 1x4s, cedar. So y'all just saw me cut a few of those. I'm gonna finish cutting all my pieces for my shutters, and then I'm gonna throw some pine, some 2x4s, I think I got either 2x10 or 2x12s, and some deck board, some 5 1/4 like treated deck board. I'll do a couple cuts on all of them just so y'all can see how it cuts for those. On some pine, which is what most people cut with it, you know, doing framing or just some projects around the house. But I just want to throw this cedar in there too so you can see just some different type of wood. So what I have here is a piece of 2x4. I'm only gonna make a couple cuts. 5 1/4 deck board. Two by 12. Now, obviously, you would probably use a skill saw just because, but if it's a long piece, you know, like 12, 16, whatever foot long, but short piece like this, we're just gonna cut just to show you how to cut. This is a piece of scrap from some stringers when we made steps, built some steps. So as you can see, it cut right through it. Again, that's an 82 blade. A 60 tooth will cut, you know, better, faster, but it's rougher cuts. So I had the 4x4, and I may cut it too. This is 4x6, you know, same height, just wider. And we'll cut it. Smells a little bit like lighter for some reason too. There you go. Nice cut. Cut one by a pine. Alrighty. So as you can see, this, well, I'm getting in the light. It's rough cut pine, but anyway. That's what we did. These strips for the tin for. All right, so I'm done cutting. There's the bower. Like I said, just based on my experience, you can't hardly beat it for the price. You know, if you do it for a living, sure, that's how you make your money. You can get your DeWalt, Milwaukee, whatever. But if you're like me and you just do your own projects and you don't make money at it, or you know, you don't do it for your main income, can't beat it, man, for the price. And that's with any bower tool I've used. And heck, even if you do it for a living, why not buy it, try it out? It's cheap enough. Try it out, see how long it lasts. I mean, who better to test a power tool than somebody who does it for a living? So that's my review and demo on this Bauer 10-inch compound sliding miter saw. Did I miss any? Oh, my bad, 10-inch dual beveling sliding compound miter saw. I had to make sure I got all the words in there, you know. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and maybe this helped somebody out who's thinking about, you know, buying a miter saw but don't want to spend a lot of money. Catch y'all on the next one.